tracks. Bravely we proven our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everybody. So you know, I hate my hair. I do. I fucking hate it right now. I'll lay it. Good problems to have. All right. How's my hair? It's kind of a vain thing. No. I have really curly hair, and it's at the point where it's either straight or curly, so it just looks. I put Polly Shore to shame. It looks like this. All right. Today we're going to be talking about Tradition 8. Happy Sunday. Happy Sober Sunday. I believe the Pro Bowl is on today. I don't know. I'll probably watch the Super Bowl. Maybe. Depends on what's going on next Sunday. So I like coming on here and talking about the traditions. There just aren't many places. There just aren't many studies and stuff. So, and when there are studies, people don't show up. I have noticed, I will let you know that I do notice that sometimes, if I put depending on the title there, sometimes I get more people because of the title. But when I put a title up like Tradition 8, it's not as exciting. Okay. Tradition 8 is a huge tradition, and I actually do a lot of Tradition 8. I do a lot of Tradition 8. It's about Tradition 8 is the step that helps you go beyond the service work. Okay. So my service work is creating service work. Does that make sense? That's what I do. I create meetings. I mean, heck, I'm even looking at handing the club over, which is fine. It doesn't matter. It's getting done. That's all that matters, right? There goes my hair again. Maybe I should get rid of the backlight. Get rid of the backlight. That'll help. All right, let's do some introductions. It's this one right here. There. It's still sticking up. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm having decent problems today, right? Just decent ones. So if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Good stuff. Yep. Hey, Michelle. It's good to see you. We're going to be covering my favorite tradition today. From the 12 by 12, I'll be on page 166. If you would like to follow along, a lot of people do. They like to follow along. Go ahead and grab your book. I'll give you a second and you can get there, and I'll just keep talking while you're doing that. Take a drink and, Hi, Ingrid. Good to see you, honey. The sun's shining in Texas, too. Yesterday, we got about 3-4 inches of snow. Get up today, it's gone. All right. That's Colorado. We're so high that when the sun comes out after the snow, it warmed. I mean, I could probably go outside without a jacket right now, as long as I'm in the sun. If you're in the shade, no. So Colorado is weird that way because we're so high that the difference in temperature can change. Bam, like that. It could be weird. All right, you get used to it. That's why we dress in layers. That's why you always see me taking shirts and we dress in layers here. Got jacket. Got jackets lined up all the way to the door, depending on the weather. All right. Tradition 8, Alcoholics Anonymous should remain not forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. I know it doesn't sound like what it is that I'm talking about, huh? That tradition 8 is actually about creating service work. Okay. Understanding there's a need somewhere, right? So, when I thought of the club, I'm like, okay, can I put it over here? No, there's another club that's kind of close. See, I was thoughtful on that. Now, when I was going to other clubs, I noticed that some had moved around and one had moved like within 2 blocks of another one. And I found that very rude. I found that rude because that AA meeting had been there for a long time, right? But who knows? I don't know the whole situation. But I like to think of those things. So I put the club where there is nobody around. There's nobody. There's no AA within miles of the club. And God, I didn't do that. God did that. Sorry about that. Sorry, dude. All right. Alcoholics Anonymous will never have a professional class. So AA itself will not have a professional class. Right? And I don't know about anybody else, but I am tired of people making AA clinical or making recovery clinical. I'm sorry, but we don't need the professionals until after. We do not need the professionals until after. Okay? You don't need treatment. Will your odds go up? Sure. Maybe. I don't know. That depends on you. That really depends on you. I didn't go to treatment. I went to treatment when I was 16. I don't need to go to treatment again. That, and if you think you're going to lock me up for 38 days, I will start punching people. I'll run. I will leave. Even if I went over under my own duress, I will leave. Okay? It didn't work for me. I couldn't do it. No way I was going to sit around for 30 days, listen to people fucking whine about their frickin' lives. No, I wasn't going to do it. So I sat in the AA rooms, is what I did. And I went home. Then I went to AA. And then I got a sponsor. And then I did the work. All right. We have gained some understanding of the ancient words, freely ye have received, freely give. We have discovered that at the point of professionalism, money and spirituality do not mix. Almost no recovery from alcoholism has ever been brought about by the world's best professionals, whether medical or religious. We do not decree professionalism in other fields. Okay? So we don't decree it either. Okay? It's not for us to decide anyway, right? Because somebody's going to have their individual way. And it does say in the big book to reach out for help on page 164, which is the end of the book. Then you reach out. Why? Because the 12 steps are going to help relieve a lot of stuff. Maybe not everything. It didn't take care of everything for me. Okay. I had to do some extra work. That's okay. But that came after. See, when we do these things in the right order, it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. This includes the traditions. It includes the principles. It includes the concepts. We do not decree, but we accept the sober fact that it does not work for us. Every time we have tried to professionalize our 12th step, the result has been exactly the same. Our singleness of purpose has been defeated. Alcoholics simply will not listen to a paid 12th stepper. And this is where I have a problem with recovery coaching. Okay. Recovery coaches are not supposed to be 12-stepping. Recovery coaches come after. Again, after. Maybe around step 5. Let them work with a sponsor a little bit before you get your little fucking hands in there. I'm sorry. If somebody comes to me and they're like, my recovery coach says that I need to have a sponsor, I let them know, well, who's your recovery coach? Because I probably know them. And if I do know them, I tell them, I'm sorry, I won't work with you unless you fire them. Okay, they're not going to lead you in the right direction. Now, they can talk to you after I'm done with you. Sure. Okay. But I don't need another person running interference so that they can keep charging Medicaid. It won't happen. Okay. That's why sober livings and stuff here in Colorado won't talk to me, because they know that I won't tolerate that system. I just won't. It doesn't work. I know it doesn't work, and I'm not going to waste my time. And please stop asking me to waste my time. Almost from the beginning, we have been positive that face-to-face work with the alcoholic who suffers could be based only on the desire to help and be helped. When an AA talks for money, whether at a meeting or to a single newcomer, it can have a very bad effect on him too. The money motive compromises him in everything he says and does for this prospect. This has always been so obvious that only a very few AAs have ever worked a 12-step for a fee. And now it's going on in treatment centers. Okay. Treatment centers, please stay away from the 4th and 5th step. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't. You're not in recovery. And if you are, you're a 2-stepper. I know this. I might should, if you're in recovery and you work in a treatment center and you have less than a year, please quit. Please go do it the right way. Please. If we want to actually be a help to other people, okay? And I'm a recovery coach. I have my certificate. I'm also a peer support specialist. I have my certificates and all those. Also, I was a CAC at the age of 20. I've worked detox. I've worked treatment. I've been in original sober livings. That's why I know that's how I know what I'm talking about. I've been there. I've actually been there. I was there when AA rooms were full. It didn't matter where you went it didn't matter where you went in the country. AA was full. There was no fucking competition. We didn't have sober livings. We don't need them. Okay? Treatment in Colorado is non-existent. And when people, it's so full of people that have been there 3-4 fucking times, and it's disgusting and it's stupid. All right. And now, okay, I'm going to let you guys in on something. When you go into a Zoom meeting and all those cameras are off, you know what those people are doing? Do you know what some of those people are fucking doing? Okay, they're getting in contact with the newcomers through chat, and they're body brokering them in your Zoom meetings. You make sure that start turning them freaking cameras on, man. They're in there. I know that they're in there. I've known this for a while. What? Masturbating? What the hell is that? Okay. I was going to say, I was getting ready to boot somebody out of a room here. All right. Despite this certainty, it is nevertheless true that the subjects have been more cause of contention within our fellowship than professionalism. Caretakers who swept floors, cooks who fried hamburgers, secretaries in offices, authors writing books. All these have been hotly assailed because they were, as the other critics angrily remarked, making money out of AA. What about the people that work at central office, man? You think they don't deserve a pay for people calling in and listening to your whining and your bitching and your questions and everything? You think they don't deserve to get paid for that? That's a job, not service work. All right, but I still don't know who you are. Don't you think if an alcoholic needs a place to stay sober, living home might be his only her choice? Yes, it might be his or her only choice. Well, I don't know what that, and then rent is high. Yeah, rent is high, and so so you go into a sober living, and then what? And then what? They require you to, number one, you gotta have a job. That makes sense because you gotta pay your rent, right? Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Then they're gonna put other requirements on you. Okay. So if we want to talk a little bit about sober livings, let's see. I know of a sober living who just last year we found that the person that dealt with the meds was stealing the client's meds and reselling them. We have found more body brokering. We have found Medicaid fraud. It is easier, from my understanding, a lot of times drugs are delivered to these sober livings just outside. Okay. Then the people that are running these things, okay, are making hand over fist. Just go ask the Hornbuckle Foundation. They're able to, they have plenty of fucking money for doing nothing. So you can go ask them. All right. Would that be his or her only choice? No. What about Oxford Homes? There are plenty of other resources out there. There are other resources. I'm not against sober living if done correctly. Now show me a sober living running correctly, and I will jump on. I will jump on immediately. And I'll tell you why, because I don't have an outlet for one. I would love to find a great sober living. Okay, but they don't reach out to me because they know I'm going to catch what they're doing. No. I've met plenty of homeless people that are sober, living in their cars. Yeah. So anyway, and great question, by the way. And when we do that, and I'm certainly not upset with anybody. Okay, so you know, not anybody here, because we have to ask questions like this. This is a great question, and I'm still not sure who asked it, but it was a great question, man. Thank you. Ignoring the fact that these labors were not 12-step jobs at all, the critics attacked the A professionals. These workers of ours were often doing thankless tasks that no one else would do. Even greater fervors were provoked when AA members began to run rest homes and farms for alcoholics. When some hired out corporations to personnel men in charge of alcoholic problems in industry. When some became nurses on alcoholic wards, when others entered the field of alcohol education. In all these instances and in more, it was claimed that AA knowledge and experience were being sold for money. Hence, these people too were professionals. And I get this. When I was working at Detox, okay, see, I don't put the letters after my name. So what was I? I was a peer support specialist. And what does that mean? It means that I was hired for my experience, strength, and hope. I'm going to tell you, that didn't feel right. In a way, it didn't feel right for me. Okay, I'm talking about me. I do not have a problem with people in recovery working at Detox. In fact, I think it's the way that it should be. Because gosh, if we look at it, what's the number one way to get an alcoholic sober? Another alcoholic. Well, why not have that chance then? Okay. See, I'm not just I don't just have my experience. I'm also educated. Okay. I can sit down with a DSM. That's easy reading. We've been doing this for as long as I have. DSM is bathroom reading. Okay. Not only that, but they're just all they're doing is just the DSM hasn't changed. All they did was call things differently. That was it. All right. At last, however, the plain line could be seen between professionalism and non-professionalism. Trevor, you snuck in there. Hey, good to see you, brother. You too. Good to see you, Ingrid. Have a good Sunday. When we agreed that the 12th step couldn't be sold for money, we had been wise. But when we had declared that our fellowship couldn't hire service workers, nor could any AA member carry the message into other fields, we were taking the counsel of fear. Fear, which today has been largely dispelled in the light of experience. Okay? I know it's a tough one. For me, it is. Okay? For other people, the line's very, very clear. For me, it's cluttered. It's been cluttered with stuff. Okay? When I worked in detox in the 90s as a cat, okay, as a cat, my job was the same. Except my main job was to get people into treatment. That was my job. That was it. So I would come in and I would have a stack of paper, all right, and what they are files, right? They're files, and each person has got to be discharged. Well, I'm going to talk to every single one of these people throughout the day, and I was going to see if they wanted to go to treatment or what their plan was. Maybe we didn't, IOP wasn't really, it was getting there, okay? But we pretty much had treatment and AA. There wasn't any sober living yet, wasn't around yet. But a Rapo house, we had a Rapo house. It was huge. It was huge. You know what we had? We had halfway houses. And what these halfway houses, so what would happen is if somebody in a position like this that needs a place to stay would have it covered. We would have it covered. Because after treatment, that's what I would do. After your treatment, you're going to go to this house. And this is a halfway house. And what they're going to do is they're going to help you find a job. They're going to put a roof over your head. They're going to put food, and they're going to help you reintegrate back into society. And that's what we're going to do. And it worked. It worked very, very well. Extremely well. So well that I'm saying we need to go back to that, because that's exactly how it got changed for money. And I will not jump on that wagon. I won't. I get offered all the time. Last week I was offered. No, my answer is no. I'm doing my own thing here. Yeah. Let me put it this way. There's too many cooks. There are too many groups. Halfway houses can be for people coming out of incarceration also. Yeah. And great. See, another good question. These are great questions. They really are. And people think that they're silly questions. But if you don't know and you're naive, you can ask me. I'm not going to give you a hard time for it. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm pretty freaking naive myself still. Okay. There's a lot of things I don't know. I have to ask them, what's this? Okay. So don't ever be embarrassed with asking. Yes. And way to think outside the box. Yes. I love this. Okay. Now let's keep in mind that a lot of people that are incarcerated are there for drugs and alcohol. Okay. It's the number one. Okay. Because of alcohol, domestic violence, okay, almost all of it has to do with drugs and alcohol. Okay. Stealing, alcohol, drugs. Think about it. Okay. So a lot of these people need to that sometimes they need a little bit more time. Okay. Now, sober livings are good for younger people because they recover real quick physically. Okay. But let's say, and this is what I didn't like about working detox most recently, I'd have a guy come in and this guy wants to get sober, or this young lady, or this lady, this older lady wants to get sober. Okay. But their only outlet is sober living. And this person hasn't worked in over 10 years. You tell me, is that a good fit? No. But I didn't have a choice because I didn't have treatment, because I didn't have any long-term, anything. In fact, I spent more money sending people out of town. If they wanted to go out of town, we could do it immediately. Isn't that sad? But if you wanted help, they just hand you a piece of paper anymore and say, make some phone calls. I didn't understand it. I couldn't do it. It was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. So what do we do with this person who wants to get sober, but I don't have an outlet for him? Why don't I like the Hornbuckle Foundation? It isn't that I don't like the Hornbuckle Foundation. When I first started, I'd like to know who you are before I answer that question, because it kind of, I'll be honest, it feels like a setup because there's a lot of things going on there. In fact, if you'd like to know that, you can reach out to me personally. Because here's the thing. In my mind, they still do some good. Oh, yeah, Kimberly, I will reach out to you. I'll reach out to you. I just don't want to. The reason that I'm hesitant here is because I don't want to start any division or cause any shit. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have said anything, right? I probably shouldn't have. But Kimberly, I'll let you know what went on. I mean, because I know you well enough to know that you're not going to take, you're going to take it the way it's supposed to go, right? So, okay. As long as I know who you are, because some people do that with me. People's, I'll tell you why I don't like the Hornbuckle Foundation right now. Okay, the last thing that they put on, fuck fentanyl, which was a fentanyl. Okay, that was my event. That was my event. It was literally stolen from me, including the speakers, the day, everything. Now, they held it at the church free, but yet they called it fuck fentanyl. They are so unthinking. Okay. Which means they didn't ask. Because the people that are involved with fentanyl awareness are pissed that they're doing that. Not just them. But they don't like it when people in recovery wear fuck fentanyl shirts. See, you haven't earned it. You haven't earned it, right? Okay. And they call it fuck fentanyl, put it on, and then they gave misinformation. See, I stopped my event. I canceled my event because I am not a fentanyl expert and I couldn't find the right people. And I was afraid all we were going to do was give misinformation. Okay. But I'm so powerful in this town that I guess all I need to do is come up with an idea and the Hornbuckles will put it on for me. They fear me. I'm not sure. I kind of know why, but I don't know the full reason. They must have done some really bad stuff to have that big of a fear of some dude just sitting on a camera. I mean, I got 3 people here. Okay. The only reason to fear me is if you're fucking around in Colorado in recovery. That's the only reason to fear me. Okay. So watch their intentions, man. Watch them. Okay. Watch Hard Beauty's intentions. I'm actually been thinking today about listing every single company that I know of that has committed Medicaid fraud. And you would be surprised. You would be amazed at some of the things these people say. The other day I was talking to somebody, they're like, I hate my staff. I'm like, wow, I'm not sending anybody to you. Thanks for telling me. I don't get it. Then why are you fucking doing this? Okay. Right now, this is what they're doing. Okay. They get paid $30 for every single signature that they get and go around. Okay. So what they are doing is they're stalking these hotels where people, um, you know, well, I'm glad that you liked it because that was my idea. That was my idea. So I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad that the presentation came. That's the thing. I'm still glad the presentation came off good. That's the difference between me and most of the other people in this field. Okay. And I wonder how much money they made off of it. Okay. Miss Hornbuckle is not a fentanyl expert. I know. I worked for the Hornbuckles when I first started. Most of their stuff, my idea. All recovery meetings, my idea. Okay. But they fucked them up. They're not what I presented. No, they're not what I presented. I can tell you right now, all recovery meetings are shit. They're crap. I know. I've been to a couple. Okay. Not all of them know who I am. I don't need to say my name. Okay. No. These people are just very unthinking. These are the same people that I've heard say, oh, low-hanging fruit when we're talking about clients. So that is the most recent reason why I'm not a big fan of the Hornbuckles. And everybody else has figured it out too. Adams County won't work with them. I'm on the coalition, so they won't come near here. Right? Yep. They sure did. Yeah. Well, wow. Same speakers. Well, so Kim, I'll even show you my event. I don't know that I have them anymore. So yeah. I'm not impressed. I'm really not with them. I'm just not. Now I don't mind free so much. I think Ryan's kind of a backstabbing little shit, but at least that's what he did to me. Hey, I do not love the free community. I think there's a problem down there. I do. I think that it was built off of something disgusting. Now, do they do a lot? Yes, they do. And I love it. I think it's badass. But that doesn't mean there's no way I could go down there. There's no way. I'd probably get kicked out. But yeah. Kimberly, give me a call sometime, man. I'll tell you what some of these people have done. Okay. That's why they don't like me. See, I'm free and clear in all this. I haven't taken a dime. I'm going to tell you where everything went screwy because it was set up great. Oh, it was set up great. You know what? And if this wouldn't have happened, I think the Hornbuckle Foundation would have went on to be one of the best fucking things in this state. I do. Okay. And this is what happened. They allowed recovery coaching to start taking insurance. When that happened, I'm serious, it all went to shit quickly because what we had was a bunch of people that now had power and control that didn't know how to use it, and it got out of control. And within a year, there was an $87,000 charge back. And I was not in it. I was one of the only ones not in it. Because when we decided to start taking insurance, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. See, I've worked fraud most of my life, and I know what it looks like. And there was no way I was going to get involved with that. And now it's a shit show. It's a shit show. So, yeah. It was Medicaid fraud, not insurance fraud, Medicaid. Okay? Yeah. And the Attorney General, he's in on it. He's in on it. I know, because I put a complaint into the Attorney General. Their director sat down with me, said, yeah, these people are in trouble. And then he caught the body brokering all by himself. I haven't talked about the body brokering. The killing of people for money, that at $5,000 a pop. Disgusting. They're like, you have a great case here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to call the people that you told us. They never called them. Okay. And my assistant's going to give you my information so you can contact me whenever you need. It never happened. That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. And nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. Okay. I went to go get a little bit of money from the abatement. And so all the sober livings took all of our fucking abatement money. Not one thing on prevention. Go look up the word abatement. That's what I'm talking about. What they use this for? To go on camping trips, to go do this, go do that. No, that's supposed to be in prevention. What about our kids? That money went straight into the pocket of these motherfuckers. Okay? It's no good. All right. I know. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger, though. And everything I've told you is fact. I promise you. It is fact. I don't deal with anything else. I only deal with fact. Okay? And there have been plenty of times when I said to myself, gosh, I hope these people turn around and do the right thing, because if they did, they'd have something beautiful. But they won't do it. Okay? When was the last time any of these people went to a meeting? Okay? When was the last time you saw them humble themselves, walk into a meeting where nobody knows them? Okay? This whole thing is about popularity. That's all it is. It is a big fucking high school game, and they're taking your money. Stop giving it to them. Okay? Go to meetings, put in $1. I love you all. Thanks for being here. Kimberly, if you have my phone number, feel free to reach out. Okay. You guys, I try not to be a dick. I'm not being a dick. I'm just telling the truth. It's just the way it is, man. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. And I will continue to deal with fact. If I go to opinion, I will tell you. I love you all. I do. Very, very much. I do a lot of protecting. Okay. God's got my back. I love you. Okay, sounds good. Peace out and have a day. Bye-bye.